Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened. That was pretty weird. So hopefully the stream stays up this time. Anyway, I guess we're explaining what 100% is, but I'm gonna just re-explain exactly what I just said, because I don't think any of it was actually got caught on stream. So basically, 100%, the only goal is to get those 5 stars on your file, the ones that you see right there on the files I've already completed. And in order to do that, you need to beat every level, and not only every level, but every exit in every level. So some levels have both a normal and a secret exit, and you have to complete both. You have to grab all 3 star coins in every level, and you have to complete the Nabbit chase in worlds 1 through 7, which are those are the only worlds that have Nabbit chases. So if you do all of those things, you will have 5 stars on your file at the end. And so that is the goal of the run. And do you have anything to add, Super?
I mean, I can give you the breakdown of literally what each of the 5 stars are.
Oh, yeah, that would actually be awesome.
So the first star, you get the first star by beating the game. You get the second star by beating every level from worlds 1 through 8. You get the third star after getting all star coins from worlds 1 through 8. You get the fourth star after collecting all star coins in world 9. And then you get the fifth star coin, or you get the fifth star after getting all 3 star coins in 9-9, finding all 94 exits, and then catching Nabbit 7 times.
Wow, okay, I did not know that.
They're broken down really weird.
Yeah, I remember they were broken down weirdly, which is why I wasn't exactly sure how they were broken down. Anyway, should we start the run?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, cool. Also, hi, Cad. Also, if anyone is watching already, just tell us, if we need to adjust the volume or anything, because I'll pause the run real quick to do that. So, yeah. But let's just get started. And I'm just going to be, explaining some of the strats as we go along. I mostly want to talk about, some of the time saves over, the previous world record, and then some of the, areas that have, room for improvement, that sort of thing. It's, right off the bat, this triple jump up to the first star coin, that's actually, a new time save. It's not a very big one, but, we used to do, a ground pound to reach that slope, because ground pounds can give you, some extra height. But by doing it the way that I did it, you can actually skip doing the ground pound, and that's faster because the ground pound has, an extra little animation. So you'll see, oh, I guess you won't see it here, but, before, when I was comparing to my previous PB that did that ground pound strat, I would always save, half a second there, so it's just, a little time save. And then
Do you not get the first star coin right away?
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. So.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm glad you said something. Here you're gonna notice I skipped the first star coin, which might seem really weird. But that's because this is one of those levels that has multiple exits, so you can actually divide up the star coins however you want. And I mean, most of the levels where you divide them up, there is a set way to do it. Some of them, there's multiple ways you can do it. But for 1-2, we actually saved the first star coin for the next exit. I'll probably talk about the reason for it later, but just keep that in mind. I think I'm just gonna fast forward through the cutscene. Oh, did you have something to add?
No, yeah, I was gonna say you can skip through this though. I know that Cold does one tower, I think now.
Yeah, so Cold Eggman.
Why is that slower, and how much slower is it?
Well, there's not.
Roughly.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how much slower, but doing one tower early, the big issue with that is that we don't have a P acorn for the normal exit of 1-2, and we really want to have a P acorn for that exit. So.
Well, I guess you would do it after the Nabbit. You would do it after one Nabbit.
Yeah, but even then, it's just out of the way on the world map. That's really the only reason it's slow. Yeah, not too much to say about 1S. I should mention, that big fish you saw at the beginning, that big purple fish, that fish can eat Nabbit. And I guess we didn't really talk about Nabbit, but Nabbit, he can't take damage. He's invulnerable to enemies. However, like, that big fish can eat Nabbit. So that would be like one example of like, you can still die as Nabbit, you can still fall in pits, you can still hit lava, that sort of thing. I guess you could run out of time on the clock, but that's not really going to happen in a run. What else? Oh, and then I guess Nabbit, like, there's certain enemies where you run into them and you don't take damage, but you get like this knockback. Like, he kind of gets stunned, so that's also bad. We actually use that to get 1 star coin, but that's like the only use of it in the run. That'll be like way later though. Yo, Avis. Oh, I'll skip this cutscene too. Although I guess I'll mention this text right here, the Miiverse text. You cannot skip this. You can skip it on Mario U. I'm not going to get into that, but you can't skip it in Luigi U. Anyway, we'll skip over to 5-1. See, the couple big things you're going to see in 5-1 is the first instance of using shells to grab star coins. That's used like all over the run. And then the other big thing that you're going to see is these neutral jumps on the vines. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Super.
Yeah, if you hold neutral while jumping off of a vine, you can retain like a crap ton of speed. So it's generally faster to hold neutral when leaving a vine, and then it launches you really, really, really far away.
Yeah, it's
which
really
is helpful for it. Saves in any percent. I know it saves like 2.5 seconds. In Hundo, it saves a little bit less because you neutral jump up. You carry that momentum for a little bit less because that last star coin there, because you ground pound that Koopa. So it saves a little bit less in Hundo, but still saves a good bit.
Yeah, it's still like 2 seconds. It's a really cool strat. There's like actually a new little optimization there that I learned earlier today for that. After the second star coin, that one where I like ground pounded the brick blocks, if you ground pound the right one, you can actually just do a wall jump off the left one as you're like exiting that little hole where the star coin is to save a little bit of time. So I guess I can do that in future attempts. Oh, I'm going to skip this cutscene. This cutscene is so long, man. So here's the first Nabbit chase. So there's one of these in Worlds 1 through 7. And you don't have to like worry about star coins or anything in these chases. All you gotta do is catch Nabbit. And the best part is that he gives you a P acorn as a reward. And the P acorn basically, if you've seen that flying move that I do with the acorn, if you haven't seen it, you'll see it soon. But there's a move that lets you fly up into the air when you press ZR. And normally you can only do that once, and then you have to land on the ground, and then you can do it again. But with P acorn, you can do that as many times as you want. And so P acorn is actually useful in 3 levels in the run. I mean, there's other levels you could use it in if you wanted, but it's not faster. So this was kind of an interesting part of the run. I actually took damage here.
Dreamer, was that intentional damage?
It was not. I just messed up.
But this level has an acorn, so it probably doesn't lose that much.
Well, so that's the thing. What actually would have been the best backup here would just be to do the secret exit as Nabbit, since I didn't have an acorn.
Oh, because you're going to do... Then, oh, you don't do 5 tap. Well, because you do Nabbit 5-3.
Yeah, Nabbit... You use Nabbit for 5-3.
Why'd you go to 5-3 now?
Well, I'll explain. So, yeah, I would have done Nabbit for 5-3, and then I would have just equipped P Acorn after this anyway, and that was going to overwrite whatever power-up status I had, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I didn't think of that. I just freaked out, and I was like, oh, I lost Acorn. So I was like, I'll just
That wall kick was sketch.
Yeah, that was very sketch, by the way. But yeah, basically my quick thinking in the moment was, I'll just do the other exit of 5-2 later. Because we do pass by 5-2 again later. And that's actually what another thing I wanted to talk about. The reason we, like, do both 5-2 exits and then 5-3 like this, even though it, wastes, like, a little bit of movement on the world map, is because if I were to have done both 5-2 exits, and then done 5-3 right there, there would have actually been a cutscene of Nabbit appearing in 5-1 for the next Nabbit chase, and it's faster to trigger that cutscene from right there, rather than where you're going to see me trigger it from here. You're going to see the cutscene appear after 5 Ghost House, I believe, and the reason that's slower is because, like, when the cutscene is triggered from, like, a different, like, loaded area in the map, then there has to be, like, a fade out for that cutscene to start, for the Nabbit cutscene to start, and then it has to fade back to the area you're in. So it wastes, like, 3 extra seconds. That'll make more sense in, like, a second here when you see it.
So you didn't mean to skip 5-3.
Well, honestly, like, I did mean to do this, but it wasn't the smartest choice. I should have just done 5-2 Secret Exit as Nabbit, but whatever. I guess I didn't even
skip
really...
for a while.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while,
I was
then.
skipping splits for a good, like, I don't know,
I guess,
16
no, you'll go
minutes.
back and do 5-2 now, I guess.
It was a good, like, 16 or 17 minutes that I skipped splits for. No, I didn't do it now. That would have been a lot of extra... Well, you pass it again after the Nabbit chase in 5-1.
Oh.
Yeah. I kind of glossed over the tower skip, but that was the first instance of PA Corn. I mean, you might have seen there that you're able to do multiple flies, which allows you to complete that skip. You can, like, still do a version of the skip without a PA Corn, with just, like, the normal acorn, but it's, like, 20 seconds slower. It's not even comparable.
Mr. Krabs, I'm going on break. I need to bust a nut.
Yeah, just ignore the chat that's going on down there. That was during the run.
Do you have a different local recording for this, or did you just use the recording the stream?
No, this is the only one I have. So yeah, that's great.
Nice. Look at all the super64guy pop-offs.
Yes. I also want to mention that star that I grabbed right there. If you don't want to grab that star, you honestly don't have to. It saves like a small fraction of a second. Also, here's the Nabbit cutscene. Like, you see how I had to load, like, back to the Otherworld 5 area and then load back to the Haunted Forest? Like, it wouldn't have had to do that if the cutscene was triggered after 5-3. It would have just played it immediately. So that's the reason we do, like, go out of our way to do the 5-2 exits. Yeah, so this level
now,
is actually pretty cool.
We should note that this is different than what the current record does, because the current record does Haunted Forest at the end of the game, so you should talk about that.
I was going to let you talk about it. If you
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, basically,
that's why
yeah,
I brought it up, because I want you to talk about it, because I don't remember why you switched Haunted Forest
exactly. That's a great thing to talk about. So, this used to be like 2 hours into the run. Also, hi, Jack. Yeah, this used to be like 2 hours into the run, and we now do it here. And the reason for that is basically because we used to, like, do... It used to be convenient to do this at the end because we would finish up World 3, and then World 3 leads right into World 5 in this game, and so then we would just do the second half of World 5, and then shoot to World 9. However, you finish World 3 with a penguin suit, and that penguin suit can actually save like 20 seconds in World 9, and so even though it costs about 12 seconds of extra map movement in World 5 to do this part now, and it cost about 3 seconds to do an extra acorn equip to, like in this route, you're still saving about 5 seconds over the old route. So it's a good time save. However, it is honestly a harder route.
Something to note, just specific to that level, you noticed your video bonked on the stairs. That was intentional.
Yes, it was.
Because if you get double digits on the timer when you touch the flagpole, you get fireworks triggered, and the firework cutscene takes, what do we say? It's like roughly like 15 seconds.
It's like 17, yeah.
But it's a huge time loss, and so we generally avoid getting double digits on the flagpole.
Yeah.
Although I will say that Nabbit avoids the fireworks animation.
Yeah, I
So if
also
you're Nabbit, we'll still go for double digits.
yes, absolutely. I also want to say the current world record actually does intentionally get fireworks in one level. I will point that out. I don't do it. Sorry, the former world record does. I don't do it, however, and I'll point out which level that is in a bit. I guess another time save I do over the current world record is doing Nabbit in that previous exit that I just did, the 5-5 secret exit. Basically, if you can do 2 levels at the same speed as either Nabbit or Luigi, it's always better to do Nabbit, because for whatever reason, the flagpole animation of like Nabbit sliding down and jumping off the flagpole is like 0.4 seconds faster or something like that. So if you could do level as Nabbit, just do it as Nabbit. It's faster. Oh, do you want to talk about pipe kicks?
Uh, yeah. I mean, when you come out of a pipe, pipes are technically walls, and so wall kicks bring you up to max speed faster. And so we generally wall kick off pipes if they're sideways. If we're coming out of a horizontal pipe to get to our full speed faster,
Yep.
saves like nothing in the grand scheme of a hundo run, but still saves a little bit of something.
Yeah, I mean, it's a few like fractions of a second. Maybe like 0.3. I think it's 0.3 ish. But I mean, you do a lot of them throughout the run, so you know it's probably a couple seconds.
They're definitely more game changers in any percent
Right, because
than
any
they are.
percent you gotta save every frame. Alright, not too much going on here. Just getting the second exit. You're kind of seeing a lot of the like any percent levels right now if you've seen an any percent run. Oh, one more thing
And
I
you,
want to talk about. But yeah, you should say what you're saying first.
I was gonna say you don't wait for to do World 6 until later in the end of World 5. You do 5S now, and then you come back down and go to 5-6.
Yes, correct. I am gonna do the secret level here, 5 secret, and then I'm gonna go over to World 7 and take the pipe right back to the start of World 5, and then just do the rest of World 5. So that's actually like that is the part of this route that is slower than the old route. Like the old route actually had one less pipe shot on the world map than this one. So that's where you lose time, but then you save so much back from bringing that penguin suit into World 9 that it ends up being faster overall. It's pretty cool. However, I will say this is a harder route, and because this route does 5 tower really early on, you end up using up an additional P acorn compared to the previous route, and so you actually have one less like backup acorn for the early game, which is kind of tough. So
You
think
get
about
well, no, well. How many times you use P Acorn before you beat Bowser for the first time? And I guess only time.
well, 2.
Isn't it just 8
Or,
too?
sorry, it's just 1, but you want to have 1 saved for 1-2.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can only use 1 extra, or you only have 1 extra. Real
Yes.
quick. So here at the end of the level, you can't actually just hug the screen to like grab the flagpole optimally. You actually have to jump at the right time, because if you try to hug the screen, it kind of just bumps you away. Like it bumps you back to the left. So one thing that I did in that level was I don't hit any of the P switches, because the P switches like change the music, but if I don't hit any of them, then the music is always at the same point when I'm reaching the end of the level. So then I have a consistent music cue to do a jump for the flagpole to always time it perfectly, and it's really easy too. Like there's like those little like ba voices in the song, and it does like ba ba ba, and like on the third one you just jump. It's really easy. Oh, the other thing I was gonna talk about before we get too far into the run is at flagpoles. You're gonna see me turning to the left right before I grab flagpoles, because it saves time on the animation of your character like sliding around and jumping off the flagpole. As Luigi, it saves only like believe 2 frames, but as Nabbit, it saves like upwards of like 0.3 or 0.4 seconds. It's quite a lot as Nabbit. So as Luigi, it's like not super important if I mess one up. But as Nabbit, I really don't want to mess those up. And now is where I'm just doing 5-2, so I'm finally, like, back on track. Oh, other
You are
mechanics.
so good at this level.
Thanks.
That was an 83 pipe. Jeez Louise.
Do you want to talk about fast accelerations? Also,
Yeah. So, in this game and NSMBU, you can press and hold the run button. It takes a little while to build up to full speed. However, if you land from a glide if you have the flying squirrel power up and you land from a glide, as long as you're already holding the run button like while you're flying, then you automatically hit max running speed. So it's actually a little bit faster to short hop into a glide and then touch down on the ground, and you'll be at max speed.
yep.
A little bit faster.
It
saves
like
way
frames.
less in NSLU than it does in NSMBU, just because in NSLU your jumps are a little bit higher, so it takes a little bit longer to initiate the glide because of the floating mechanics.
Yeah, Luigi
but it
does
still
this,
saves a few frames.
Yeah, Luigi does this weird float like right after you jump, so you don't immediately like if you were to press B and then like if you're to press B 2 times in succession really fast, you wouldn't actually get a fast excel. You have to actually time it in NSLU. Because Luigi does this weird like floaty thing after your jump, so that's actually kind of like just something you have to get skilled at over time. One quick thing I want to point out, the previous world record did 5-6 as Luigi, which is much easier in my opinion, but it saves about 0.2 seconds to do it as an Abbott. It's like a tiny time save, and it really only comes from that faster flag pull animation. This level's pretty fun. I like this level. Oh, also, to answer your question, Cad, the new route saves about 5 seconds. And I messed this up.
That's like, what, 3 seconds?
Yeah, something like that. Actually, it was like 4. The beginning of this run is, like, not that great by my standards, to be honest. Like, I don't know.
So you're not that far behind your PB, but your PB had a death in 5-3, right?
No, that was my previous PB. I got a,
Well, that's right. You got a better PB earlier that day.
Yeah, I got a better PB. Yeah, literally, like, the PB I'm comparing against in this run, I got like 3 attempts before the world record run. Oh, okay, this is a cool strat. So, since I have to wait out a lava cycle to get to the second coin, I go and grab the third coin first and then grab the second coin. It only saves 0.3 seconds, but it is faster. It's just really scary. And the only reason I'm able to do that, or to like get there that fast, is because of those neutral vine jumps that we talked about in 5-1. It's the exact same thing on those chains. Do you want to talk about Iggy?
As the king, I was gonna say, as the king of fast Iggy
Yeah.
NSLU, I feel like I am the most qualified to
talk about Iggy. Do it.
So what's about to happen here in this boss fight is Iggy's going to go in these pipes. First off, do you get it?
No, I didn't.
So there's, I think, about a 50-50 chance that Iggy comes out of each of those pipes. If he comes out of the left one, there's actually a way to hit him while he's on the ceiling, if you time it right. So we call it Fast Iggy, if you get that jump.
Yes, very creative name.
Unfortunately, Uvid's got unlucky, and so Iggy came out on the right side, so he couldn't even go for the trick.
Yeah, so the one thing...
It's actually a really consistent trick. There is a setup for it. It's just a matter of getting the RNG.
Yes, it is.
Additionally, there's a bunch of magic balls that Iggy shoots out if he comes out on the right side, and if they reach the lava, then lava monsters come out and attack, and that wastes time because Iggy won't come down until the lava monsters are gone. You can't kill the lava monsters because they're made of lava. So, as Nabbit, since you're invincible, you try and eat up all of those magic bursts so that Iggy comes down faster.
Yeah, you literally read my mind of what I was going to say there. That was a good explanation.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so it's like, if
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some lemonade. You take over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's like if I don't get the luck of Iggy appearing on the left, then I have to immediately rush over to the right and be ready for him to shoot out those magic balls so I can run right into them. Because the moment you clear those magic balls, he drops from the ground. So yeah, that's definitely a very interesting fight. It's part of the reason I have a separate split for it. Six one is kind of interesting. So, as Nabbit or as like any of Luigi's power-up states besides Acorn, you can do these little twirls in the air to like maintain airtime in your jumps. And I use that to grab these star coins. And those are actually both pretty tight. Well, especially the second one. The second star coin grab is pretty tight. So yeah, I'm going to use those a lot as Nabbit, but I can't do that as Luigi, because you do those little twirls by pressing ZR, but if you press ZR as Luigi, you just get to fly into the air. So these music blocks are kind of weird. Like, if you don't jump off of them in exactly the right way, you just, like, don't get very much height. So that's what happened there. I had to do an extra fly to kind of save myself, but didn't lose too much time from it. Also, like, when I make mistakes, I'm always, like, aware of, or always thinking about, am I possibly going to get fireworks? Like, I have to, like, know every in-game time. Or, like, I have to know what the in-game time would be if I do the level well, and then I have to be like, okay, now that I messed up, is it possible that I'm going to get a double-digit time? Also, okay, there's a really cool strat coming up here. I think I actually messed it up. So, yeah, there's hidden blocks right there that I tried to clip through by flying at the right time. So I went to the other side and then did the same trick again, and that's how I actually got it. I was going for the secret exit, but because I, like, messed up going to the right side there to get the first star coin, I just opted out of it and went for the normal exit instead. Didn't lose too much time. It was a good backup. SMB3 note blocks. Yeah, I think any Mario game note blocks seem to work really weirdly, in my opinion. I know NSMB2 is pretty weird as well.
Which reminds me, any news on your capture card?
What's that? Oh, like...
Is it still coming across the country?
Yeah, my 3DS capture card.
World, actually.
I have not heard, actually. Hopefully soon can stream some NSMB2 runs.
I heard Brayden's getting a capture card, which is hype.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Or he bought like a DS with a capture card kind of thing from Delphino. I don't remember.
Oh, I see.
Which, but he's gonna start running DS games on DS now. I think.
Oh, that's super hype. Yeah, so I skipped splits there because I switched the order of the exits. So now I'm gonna go for the secret exit again, and I'm gonna do the same clip through the hidden blocks. That's the only glitch of the run, by the way. This game is mostly just platforming skill. It's not.
Is it
really
faster to go in the right pipe as opposed to the left pipe?
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I found out like after this run, I think it's actually faster to go in the left pipe. But here's the thing. I get a 76.
Well, in all castles, you go through the left side.
Yeah, I know.
It just seemed weird for you to go through the left side and then go to the right pipe.
No, I know what you're saying. I believe it's a little bit faster to go through the left side because of the cycles of the spiky balls shooting out. Like, you don't have to wait as long. However, if I do this well, I get a high 76 anyway, so I'm pretty sure it would just get me fireworks, but I still want to mess around with it. So that's definitely a time save I could implement for future runs.
One time save for future runs, you could also not be a pussy and try and kill the rolling...
Bro, I'm trying to keep the language clean here.
Oh, sorry.
No swearing in my Christian chat.
Oh, well.
Yo, glowy one.
at the end of the level when the rolly blocks come down, the rolly spiky dudes come down, you could try killing that, and then
Yeah,
that could save like 3 seconds.
that is another strat you can do. You can actually like you can do some wall jumps to actually kill like those spiky balls. And that is risky though, in my opinion. But I might practice it more. Try to go for it. I don't know. We'll see. This level's pretty straightforward. Nice. I did mess it up a bit,
Except for you
though.
messed it up. Except for your bad.
Yeah, I lost 1 second. Well, technically no. So I guess this is a level where you can do what we call skipping fireworks, which is basically getting to the clock before it reaches double digits. But, like, I have never gotten a 78 there. I have seen, I think, 2 people do it, like, once. So, yeah, that's not really something I want to go for in runs, so I just go for a very high 76 on the clock.
Who did it? Non-DCA, I assume?
Yes. So this is an auto-scroller, not super interesting. This level, I'm honestly not sure which character is faster, Nabbit or Luigi, because I think Luigi gets a little bit of a better time on the flagpole, but Nabbit obviously like saves time on the flagpole. And then of course the level's just easier as Nabbit, so like I'm just gonna do Nabbit, but if I can find a way to make it a little faster as Luigi, I'll probably go for it. And the reason Luigi's faster is because this star coin at the end, you can do a spin jump to get up there earlier. Like, as Nabbit, you have to wait longer. And the reason for that is because the spin jump move actually gives you the height of a triple jump. Well, come to think of it, I could probably set up a triple jump as Nabbit to get up there. I never really thought of that. Huh. Those are both good things to look into, I suppose. Oh, the chat on screen, by the way, is the chat from the run that is, that we're watching. It's not the actual chat right now. So, yeah. But, yeah. How are you doing, Chloe?
The hundo strats I came up for with this level for Luigi are so hype.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Those are really cool.
I can't remember what I got. I think I got like a 76.
Yeah, you use like a shell, right?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, there's actually, if I had lost my acorn, like, somewhere before this, I could have actually gotten it back in this level, and in turn, like, this star coin that I'm gonna get right here, obviously, like, I couldn't get it that way if I don't have an acorn, so I would have actually just used a shell to grab that one. The secret exit is so bad. I don't know how they expected you to find this.
The secret exits in this whole game are bad. To be fair, this one actually is better than a lot of the other ones in the game.
Explain.
There is a visual cue for it.
Oh, okay.
We just don't see it because we're speedrunners, but the visual cue is on the other side.
Oh.
There's a platform that the piranha plant's sitting on, and it shoots up way higher than the other one.
Oh, really?
Alluding that there could be something up there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you actually can find that one.
Okay, Six Tower. This is one of my favorite levels. The second star coin here that you're gonna see in just a second is really cool. So right here, I cling onto the wall, and then I wait for a bit for him to move out of the way so I can grab the coin. The thing there is that he actually has 2 different patterns that he can do, so I kind of just have to react. But both of them involve you waiting for a bit and then wall jumping, so it's kind of similar movement either way. And then for this boss, this is a big moment where fast acceleration really matters, because if you do a really good fast acceleration here, you can hit him early. Otherwise, he would jump like all the way up top, and then you'd have to like wait for him. It's just like, it's a couple seconds slower.
There's a visual cue for when you even start the fast accel too, if you're not super consistent with it.
Yeah, I kind of have one. Well, I don't know if yours is different, but what I do is I almost like jump into the corner, or like aim into the right corner of that leftmost platform, because Luigi's head actually like doesn't have really a hitbox. Like, Luigi's hitbox is smaller than it looks. And so you can
My
actually...
visual cue is a crack in the ground.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I
Ew,
guess...
you grabbed
yeah.
coins. Fun
What?
fact, you can get to that pipe without grabbing a single coin.
I did not know that. That is a good fun fact. What was I gonna
probably
say?
slower.
Yeah, but basically, yeah, Luigi's head doesn't really have much of a hitbox, so there's parts where like it might look like I'm gonna get hit, and I just like don't. That's
Also,
always
this
good to know.
IL is this IL is slower as Nabbit.
Yeah, I
but
wanted to mention
it's
that.
safer.
So this is another change from the previous world record. Previous world record did Luigi for this level. I used Nabbit, and it's actually about half a second slower. However, it's like way safer, and the reason is because there's Fire Bros in that level, and Fire Bros, like, they move around randomly and they throw fireballs randomly. So rather than having to deal with a bunch of RNG, I would kind of rather just Nabbit the level and make it easy. Because in this route, I only have one backup acorn for the first hour and 5 minutes or so. So it's like, I don't really want to get hit. Yeah, Kat says he spent 30 minutes looking for that secret exit in 6-5. I don't blame him.
Is there a reason you did glide at the beginning, or were you just flexing?
Just flexing. Also, in my opinion, it makes that first star coin easier. Because it's just like right there. The one thing I do, I guess...
You know that first star coin catches up to you right here, right? And then you just grab it
really?
for free.
I didn't know that. Oh, well, I'll just continue flexing anyway.
Like, I always grab the second star coin before the first when I do this level and just let it catch up.
That's actually cool. Oh, what was I gonna say? The one thing you can do, I guess, to optimize this, you can trigger that bone platform as early as possible, and then at the end, you actually do a spin jump.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because the spin jump maintains momentum from the bone coaster.
Sick.
Yeah, you'll kind of see those like throughout the run. There's also like rolling hills that you can do that on.
Did the old record do that?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why I've never seen that.
I stole it from someone. I don't know. I didn't make it up. It's not my strat. There's another pretty easy Nabbit chase. Fun fact about the Nabbit chases, at least I'm pretty sure this is true. If I'm wrong, don't quote me on it. I'm pretty sure the Nabbit chases are harder in, like, after you've already done them. Because, like, I don't know, in my experience, trying to practice them, and also in other people's experience, you, like, don't get the same results. But they're always the same, like, the first time you do them. So they're kind of annoying to practice for that reason. So Six Castle is kind of weird. Do you want to talk about Six Castle?
No. I don't
know
anything about it.
Oh,
About it.
I was just gonna talk about like, or I was just gonna say
what
like,
you say?
like you know how you have to do it twice.
Oh, that's all you wanted me to say?
Yeah.
I was like, he wants me to talk about the star going, he wants me to talk about the lava bubble moving. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, there's a back end. So there's a secret exit you can get in 6.5 that allows you to move there were the blue and red platforms switches that will allowed you to change the platforms.
Oh yeah, that happened, by the way.
Oh, nice. Oops.
Oops.
I guess it kind of does matter. Anyways, there goes your one backup then.
Yep, that was my one backup.
But you can then, if you get the 6.5 secret exit, then you don't change the platform movement, which means that you can actually, after 6 Tower 2, go like into the back entrance of the castle. It allows you to get, that's the only way you can get the 3rd star coin. Yes. And additionally, it's just takes you right to the door to the boss.
Yep.
To the castle.
It's pretty cool.
So in all castles, you actually go in that back entrance, since it puts you right out in front of that castle. Also lets you skip 6-7.
Also glowy orange, I just did your hydrates, by the way. Yeah, so basically, doing the back entrance is the only way to get the third coin, and doing the front entrance is the only way to get the first 2 coins. And I guess for a while I thought, like, maybe if there was a way to, like, get over to one of the areas, like, let's say we could do the first 2 coins and then somehow, like, clip over the ceiling or something and get to the third coin. Like, we could, like, skip doing this twice. Well, I found out that they actually just create the illusion that this is the same room, but it's actually 2 separate rooms. And so there's actually no way to do that. So we're just stuck doing this level twice, unfortunately. Also, I guess one thing I dealt with a little bit in the front, the 6 castle front here, was block RNG. One of the blocks can actually be, like, different shapes. However, none of them really pose a significant threat. There's one shape that you want to get, but if you get any of the others, it's not a big deal. All you have to do is a really quick fly into the air, and that's the only time loss. It's maybe like a fraction of a second. Mario Wii has, like, a level with block RNG that's, like, a million times worse than this. So thankfully we don't have that to deal with. So I guess if we're talking about, like, possible, like, improvements, I mean, I've been 15 seconds ahead of this out of World 6 before, so obviously this is not, like, a perfect beginning. Like, realistically, I could probably be 20 seconds ahead of this pace. But I would still say that was a decent start, all things considered. And I also got bad RNG on the Iggy fight, so that didn't help. So right here, if this Ice Bro throws an extra ice ball, it'll actually freeze that fuzzy that I had to wait for. And so, since he's frozen, he won't be able to, like, damage you, so you can actually go forward earlier there. It saves, like, a second, but I did not get so lucky. No, I didn't realize that, kid. And if I had happened to take damage in 7-1, there's a backup acorn I could have gotten in 7-2, so yeah, wouldn't have been so bad. Oh, also I messed up 7-2. 7-2's the hardest level to run, right, Super?
Yes, obviously. Apparently, according to you, it is.
Yo, slab of bacon, welcome. So now we get to deal with some RNG. But first, so the second star coin in this level, the one at the very end of the first room here, requires me to do a really tight, like, cycle sort of thing. I'm basically gonna fly in between 2 blocks, and if I don't do it really fast, I just get crushed and die. And if I fly too late and make it out, but I'm still too late, I get hit by that fireball. So that's all, like, pretty difficult. But the fun is not over yet. So these dudes just walk around and throw fireballs randomly. So the best thing I can do is actually just to get above them and then just cling onto the wall and just stay above them. Because if you try to, like, land on them, like, a lot of times they'll, like, move out of your way, and it's just, like, terrible. But the boss coming up, do you want to talk about Kamek?
Yeah, so Kamek is a completely RNG boss fight. Kamek can spawn pretty much anywhere that a block is not, and you pretty much basically pray to God.
Yeah, the blocks he spawns are random, and where he spawns is random for the first 2 hits. After you hit him the second time, he will always spawn in the middle of the screen, but then if you don't get him there, then he will just start spawning randomly again. So by using the acorn, you can just stay in the air and try to take some lucky guesses and hope you get them fast. It's basically our strat. But yeah, that actually went really well. This run actually had pretty good RNG overall, in my opinion. Like, I didn't get fast Iggy, but yeah, it was pretty good. There's like 4 main RNG points in the run. So this is a new thing compared to the previous record. So we now get the star in this level in both exits. It doesn't actually save too much time overall. Maybe 1 to 2 seconds.
It would save a lot in Hundo, in this part of the run.
Not a ton. I mean, so without star, I think I'd be getting like a 79 here on the clock. So it's only a little bit. But honestly, the funny thing is, like, the strategy for doing that without the star is honestly way easier. Like, you would think it's easier to grab the star and be invincible, but for both exits, it's way easier without the star. But it saves time, so I went for it. Fun fact, this is exactly how you would do this level in an any percent run. But my current any percent PB does not actually grab the star because that was not the strat at the time of me getting that run. So as of now, the 100% world record has a better Ghost House secret exit than the any percent record. I guess I could skip some of these cutscenes. I kind of forgot. Not too much to say for this Nabbit. This one's really easy. I have like had faster catches than that. This is definitely one I would need to mess with.
Is there a way to like still grab him there without like sliding into him?
Yeah, so I did something like that before. Like, I had him in my hands when I went into the air. It was really weird. I don't know how I did it though. And since you can't really practice those efficiently, unfortunately, it's kind of hard to like recreate that. Okay, this is high stress time because if I do my strats really well for this level, I will get a very low 67 on the clock. So I am really trying to beat out those fireworks. There is a faster strat you can do in this room to get this star coin, but it's like stupid. And so I don't go for it. Also, if you like mess this part up and don't get to that 3rd coin, you just have to take a death to like try again. It's really bad.
Oh.
Do you want to explain Rainbow Bridge?
No.
Okay, I can explain it.
Rainbow Bridge is dumb.
Yeah, so...
Flash, I don't do it enough to understand the ins and outs of it.
There's not too much to explain. Basically here, you're trying to get to either that top or bottom spot to enter one of the 2 levels. But if a fuzzy is blocking your path, then you have to go backwards and reload the bridge again. And you can get so many extra bridges if you get unlucky. My personal worst is 10 extra bridges. This run only got 1. That one that I got right there, that 1 extra, was the only one. So that's actually really good. One of my previous PBs got literal perfect luck. It not only got no extra bridges, but it got the fastest possible pass on both of the levels, so, which is apparently a 1 in 72 chance. So that's pretty cool. Fun fact about this level, if you look in the back, you can see Luigi.
Hi. Fun fact, there is a hidden Luigi in every level of this game.
There is, yeah. I don't think we see all of them in the run. Maybe most of them.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think we do. There are
Yeah.
some hidden Luigis that are in like hidden areas that you don't access.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I finally found the Luigi. I remember everyone was telling me there was a Luigi there, and I was like, I don't see him. And then I realized he's like huge. Like I was looking for like a tiny Luigi like cloud or Luigi shaped cloud in the back or something. It's like huge Luigi face just staring at me. This level's really cool. So I grab the shell at the beginning, and then I bring it all the way over here. And as I'm making my way through, just throw it down to grab that second star coin. And then I jump from a specific place here to grab the third star coin. And at the beginning, I slowed down just enough to get a high 76 at the flagpole. One of my favorite levels there for sure. And now, okay, this is really funny what happened here. I think I'll just let it speak for itself. But the one thing I will say, this is the hardest skip of the run. And in the previous record, this was done with P Acorn, but because my route has one fewer P Acorns, I go for this with normal Acorn. And it's actually just faster to do with normal Acorn. But it is the hardest skip of the run. So, that's not what that's supposed to look like. That is... You're supposed to set up a jump, so you grab star coins 2 and 3 in one glide at the end, and then just make it to the final platform. But I guess I wasn't high up enough to get the third one, so I tried to save myself by like flying onto one of those platforms that was kind of floating around there. But then I didn't make it onto the platform, so then I was like frantically spinning to try to save myself, and I somehow clutched it. Yeah, 7 castles, not too bad. You just have to know the cycles here. Oh, do you want to talk about Ludwig? Do you know about Ludwig?
Ludwig is a boss. No, I mean, the only really notable thing about Ludwig is that you just want to... He's first phase, he, like, jumps up into the air, but since we have the little boosty power with our acorn, we just use that boosty power and we get up to Ludwig. So
Yeah,
we don't have
normally
to
he,
wait
like...
for him to do his phases.
Yeah, he jumps up and he, like, clones himself into three copies, and then you have to, like, guess which one is the right one. And there's actually a visual cue to know which one is which, but we don't have to worry about that. We could just fly up and hit him. I guess the one thing I can say real quick, you might notice, like, it looks like I don't hit the Koopalings, like, right as they pop out of their shell. For some of them you can do that, like for Iggy, you can do that, for example, but for a lot of them you can't. Like, it just varies from boss to boss. Like, you have to, like, wait a decent bit after they pop out of their shell to actually hit them. It's very weird. Speaking of bosses that you have to wait to hit, the next boss coming up is Bowser Jr. And that one, like, the amount of time you have to wait is, like, way longer than you would think. And if you try to go too early, you just get hit. And I feel like that's something not a lot of people understand, but if you just learn the timing on it, it won't be too bad. Now I can kind of explain my cue for that once the fight starts. But first we have Airship Skip. So you're supposed to wait on that cloud there as it, like, slowly moves across the screen. But there's literally no reason to do that. Because we have the Acorn power-up. So I wait a little bit here for those blocks to move down, and then I can just skip the whole first section. Yeah, just a reminder, anyone in chat has any questions about the run, feel free to ask. Okay, so right here, you're going to see he pops out his gloves, and that's when I do a jump and then a fly. And I also set myself up 5 blocks away from the edge. And yeah, that's basically my cue, is I wait till after he pops out his gloves. But like, you have to actually fully wait for them to pop out. And then, Super, do you want to talk about why I flew like off to the left of the screen after the fight ended?
Yeah. So the cutscene that you're watching right now, the only way that cutscene is triggered is when Luigi passes by the bottom of the screen. So since the blocks fall from left to right, if you're on the left side of the screen, then Luigi will fall with the left blocks and hit the bottom of the screen faster to trigger that cutscene sooner.
Yep. There are... I think that's the only application of that. There is something similar in a different level. Oh, I'm going to skip this cutscene. This is long. Okay, so 8-1 has 2 exits. It took us a while to figure out like a good way to divvy up the star coins here. This is another difference from the previous world record. I think the previous record got all 3 star coins in the secret exit, but here I'm actually going to get the 3rd coin during the normal exit. Or sorry, got all 3 star coins during the normal exit. But I'm only going to get the 3rd one during the normal exit. Because those blocks that are there just line up really well if you skip the first 2 star coins. You can explain 8-1 RNG if you want.
We'll explain it maybe when you do this. So you're doing the secret right now. Well,
yeah.
So what's going to happen is we're going to get to the end of the level, and in order to get up to the secret exit, we're going to see that some blocks are going to be broken in order to get up there. And there's 4 different patterns you can get, 2 of which cause a fireball to come down on the left, and then a fireball to come down in the middle. That's the example you can see here. You can also have a fireball come down just directly in the middle, or you can have a fireball come down on the right. Ideally, you want the first fireball to come down in the middle or the right, because it'll open up the path up to the secret exit sooner. Getting either of the 2 left patterns loses roughly a second.
It's like 1.5, it may be a little less.
It might be actually around 1 second, because I get... maybe it is like 1.2.
I don't know, maybe I'm just bad at acting.
It might be like 1.2.
Yeah.
Because I can get 75s with left side still in any percent.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, this is the first instance where the PA acorn, or second instance, I guess, where the PA acorn saves time. So yeah, you can actually do this level without PA acorn, but it's about 10 seconds slower and much harder. Yeah, not like too much to say. Obviously, the PA acorn is just kind of broken and overpowered. So you can get to the end.
I need to use the bathroom really, really bad, and
yeah.
you know World 8 better than me, so
yeah,
I'm gonna take a dip for a little bit, but you keep going.
You should do that. All right, I will carry here. So, like I said, Nabbit can't take damage, however, he can die from lava. So even though, like, yeah, we do this level as Nabbit, which makes it easier for sure, this is still scary. Like, one of my previous PBs took 2 deaths in this level. Because it's very easy to just hit the lava and die instantly. And the thing about NSLU, there's no checkpoints in any level, so you just have to start over. Granted, the levels are pretty short, but still. I kind of messed up those gears at the end too, so I guess I could save a few seconds there. Yeah, I mean, this run definitely has room for improvement still, but up until this point, it's mostly just been like small time losses. So this level's pretty cool. I'm going for a fast cycle here, at the end of the level for the 3rd star coin. Now, unfortunately, because I made that mistake there, I actually have to wait out those blocks that are above me right there. I have to wait. Otherwise, like, I could have just flown up top and saved a couple seconds, but no biggie. These are all just ways I can save time. So the next level is elevator, and we're gonna do elevator skip. If you've seen an any percent run, you've probably seen elevator skip. This one's not too different. You just have to do a little bit of slowing down for the star coins. Those elevators there are controlled by motion control, so I'm actually tilting my gamepad to the right as I am on those, just to get a little speed boost to the right. And you'll see like those yellow sparks in this level. Those actually have like smaller hitboxes than they look like. I guess you didn't really get to see it there, but sometimes it'll look like you're practically like going through them and just not taking damage. But their hitboxes are just really small. Luigi's hitbox is also deceptively small. So yeah, things like that will just happen sometimes. You'll more so see that in like an any percent run, where you don't slow down for the star coin. Alright, so into our final level here. This level can be a little bit scary because basically the movement I do here manipulates the movement that Bowser Jr. does. And it's pretty easy to manipulate for the most part. I think I actually messed it up a little in this run. Now the issue is, well, one, if you mess it up, then you just gotta react to what Bowser Jr. does, which can be hard. Yeah, I did mess it up. And two, if you take a death, you might have noticed like a little cutscene of Bowser Jr. flying in played before the level like started, like played before I gained control of Luigi, right? If you take a death and then re-enter the level, that cutscene doesn't play again. So manipulating Bowser Jr. is completely different if you take a death. I actually don't even know how to do it. That might be a good backup to learn, honestly. But yeah, it's a completely different level essentially. Those fireballs that I just jumped through there are always the same. Just want to mention that. And then here's phase 1 of Bowser. The only optimization you can do here is landing as far to the right on that switch as you can. Because a cutscene is going to play right here where Luigi... Here, I'll just let it play. Where Luigi walks off to the right. And the further right you are, the less Luigi has to walk. Because you're going to see he walks really slow. So yeah, you want to minimize that as much as possible. Alright, so here's the Bowser fight. Couple things are going to happen here. The first one is that when the fight starts, I'm going to wait for Bowser to shoot a fireball, and then I'm going to fly right up in his face. And I'm not exactly sure why it does this, but normally Bowser would shoot a second fireball, but if you fly up in his face like that, we can do what we call fireball skip, and he just doesn't shoot the second one. It saves like 3 or 4 seconds. But it gets even cooler. So, once I get into the clown car, I can do these swerves above Bowser's shell to try to keep him in the middle of the arena. So you're going to see that in just a second. And what that's going to do is, for whatever reason, it like skips him jumping an extra time out in the air like that. And so yeah, that saves a couple additional seconds. And then of course, the hard part of this fight is making sure Bowser Jr. doesn't get back that clown car. So you always want to jump on him or ground pound him or something to make sure that he can't get back into it. If you just try to go into the car, like 9 times out of 10, he's just gonna like jump up and take it away from you. And Bowser Jr. has like a crazy high jump. So you do not want that to happen. But yeah, it was a pretty good Bowser fight. So that was like my best first half ever by like almost 40 seconds. So that was like, I was already kind of nervous once I had this run going. So yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and skip over the credits if that's okay. There's no reason to watch all this. The credits are literally like 6 minutes. Okay, so we start off the second half of the run by doing 1-2, and that's the reason I needed to save a P acorn up until this point, because the P acorn actually allows you to fly over this level, and that's like hard program that you can only do that with P acorn. There's a select number of levels that let you do something like that. I think it's a reference to like Super Mario Bros. 3. But the reason I saved that first star coin for this exit was because if I had already collected all the star coins and I had just gone for the flagpole there, I would have gotten an 88 at the flagpole and I would have gotten fireworks. And so it's faster to save that first star coin there, since you need to find a way to slow down anyway to avoid fireworks. The previous world record actually intentionally got those 88 fireworks in order to get a star, which they use later. But I'll talk about that later. Meanwhile, we have one tower here with one of the hardest strats in the run. So I actually pulled off that fast cycle, so that was really cool. I was really happy I got this. Also, I just want to mention, like, the first half of this run was, like, pretty good, pretty improvable, though. Or a little improvable, though. This is where the run gets, like, really good. The Worlds 1 and 2 of, like, the second half of the run, I think I played, like, 4 seconds off some of the best. And, like, 2.5 of those seconds were in one level. So, yeah, the rest was just, like, really good. Something else to note, I guess, now that I've beaten the game, there's no more save prompts. So that's part of the reason why we do, like, the route that we do, is to avoid having save prompts. So at the end of this level, I'm going to time a triple jump to get this final star coin. This is actually, like, kind of tight. So right there is actually the only instance where I'm not going to hit left before hitting the flagpole. And the reason for that is because if I am triple jumping and I hit left, I won't actually face left. All it'll do is slow me down. And so even if you hit left before the flagpole, you'll still get the slower animation because Nabbit isn't facing left. So there's no reason to hit left. You should just go into the flagpole if you're triple jumping. So that's why, like, you're never going to see me triple jumping into flagpoles ever, unless I have to, which is the case in 1-3. So this first jump here in 1-4, that's actually pretty tight to, like, have enough height to make it up to the first coin. And then so is this. That can actually be kind of tricky. I think the previous record actually did this level as Luigi, interestingly enough. The previous record also did one tower as Nabbit. I forgot to mention that. So those are some time saves that I went for. Luigi saved me about 4 seconds in one tower, and Nabbit saves me a small fraction of a second here from the faster flagpole. So, yeah, those are just some interesting new little time saves that I went for. I should mention, if I had gotten hit anywhere in one tower and lost my acorn, it wouldn't have been a big deal because there are red coins here in one castle that give you your acorn back. I only lose about 5 seconds. So yeah, those red coins right here, those are pretty fast. But luckily I didn't have to go for that. Where's Super? He's in the bathroom. Okay, one optimization I did right there, as I went into that upward pipe, you might have noticed that I crouched into it. For any upward pipes, I'm going to try to crouch into them because um, the smaller you are, or the smaller your hitbox is when you enter the pipe, the less time the pipe animation takes because there's, I guess, less of your hitbox to enter the pipe, if that makes any sense. So by making Luigi's hitbox smaller, he goes into the pipe faster. That doesn't actually save any time on like the in-game timer, but it saves time in real time. And this boss is very straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and just skip the cutscene here. Although one thing I want to point out, so right here you're gonna see there's this cutscene. We call these the Superstar Road cutscenes, and if you get all the star coins in a world, you will have to watch these cutscenes, but only if you've already beaten Bowser, because you don't unlock Superstar Road until you've beaten Bowser. And so, yeah, like, one advantage of like doing Worlds 6 and 7 in the early game is that you actually don't have to see those cutscenes for Worlds 6 and 7. They're not super long, so yeah, it's part of the reason it's a little bit difficult to route this game is because it's like, well, is it worth it to do this run before you beat Bowser, or is it worth it to do this world before you beat Bowser to like skip the Superstar Road cutscene, or is it more worth it to do it after to skip the save prompts? Like, you never know. It just kind of depends on route to route. Oh, also, great job on that, CAD. Okay, so interesting thing you hear. You might see that those enemies that are like moving as I move on the map, those are going to be really important in a second, so just keep those in mind. For 2-2, I am trying to make a cycle here. So I really do not want to touch that spiky ball as Nabbit because it has that effect of like, even though it doesn't damage you, you get this knockback, and that would mean I don't make that cycle here. So I really want to avoid those. Like, Nabbit won't just phase through those like he does with other enemies. So that was a good 2-2. Alright, 2-3 is one of the new big strat upgrades from the previous record. Also, I'm pretty sure the previous record made a slower cycle in 2-2. But anyway, yeah, so I actually grabbed this star here, which I don't believe the previous record grabbed. And if I'm really, really fast, like if I'm really optimal with my jumps here, I can actually grab that second star coin like that. That is actually pretty hard to do. Yeah, that saves multiple seconds over like the way that used to be done. This level got so much faster because of the star. It's not only that, CAD. Like, I don't think people realized you could get that second star coin until I found like a way to do it. Okay, 2 tower. Has a slight strat change from the previous record, but nothing too huge. So 2 tower is about spinning those, I don't know what they're called, those things to move these blocks. But obviously, like, you want to minimize your spinning because you have to like slow down to do it. But for the end here, I did take it a little bit safe because if you minimize it too much, you end up getting crushed at the end. I lost a run to that like a few days ago, so I really didn't want that to happen again. So yeah, like you can get like a 78 at the door. I think I've even seen someone get a 79 at the door here. But yeah, so I definitely took that level a bit safe. This is definitely some room for improvement, but it wasn't bad. And then yeah, Boom Boom, I have like a cue of where to aim for the first hit on him, because I think a lot of people struggle with that one. But you see like that third window? If you aim to the top right of that third window, you should always hit him on the first hit. Okay, so these enemies and the acorn here, they've been moving randomly every time I make a move. So, like, they are never in the same places. This bridge is totally random. I have no idea where any of this is going to be. Running into an enemy loses probably 20 seconds. Running into the acorn loses 6. But somehow, miraculously, they all just moved right out of my way, and I was able to take the fastest possible path through the bridge. So, like, at this point, I was like, oh, shit. Like, this is fast. A lot of times you'll hit an enemy, or you'll hit the acorn or something. Hitting the acorn's not too bad, but you really don't want to hit an enemy. And so I talked about how the previous world record grabbed a star in 1-2 from the fireworks, and that is where he used the star, was on that bridge. So that even if he hit an enemy, it would not trigger the fight, because if you have a star active on the world map, it just kills the enemy. You don't have to actually fight it. But I took it risky. And so I saved time in 1-2 from not getting fireworks, and I still got through the bridge optimally. So that was one of my big time saves over the previous record. I had a little bit of time loss there in 2-4 from my gamepad, thinking I shook it, so I just got like a random fly into the air, but not a big deal. So fun fact about 2-6. Well, two fun facts. One, you can retain this faster speed of these rolling hills by spin jumping off of them. You can do that as both Nabbit and Luigi. The other fun fact is that this level is technically faster as Luigi. Like, you get a faster time at the end. However, there's no way to get the third star coin as Luigi without intentionally taking damage. So because of that, I would have to waste 3 seconds re-equipping an extra acorn, so it wouldn't end up being faster overall. So it's just faster to use Nabbit here. Also, I guess I've heard people ask this before. Even if you spin jump into the flagpole, you can still hold left to get the faster flagpole animation. Also, welcome back, Super.
Hi. I apologize. It was
No.
a combination of restroom plus IRL, unfortunately.
You're all good. Don't worry, you didn't miss too much.
I missed like 2.5 worlds, but it's fine.
It's all good. Do you want to talk about...
I was there for the 2.5 worlds in between. So
do you want to talk about anything?
Much.
Anything you think you missed?
No, you're good. There's
okay.
Nothing... I mean, I've seen a few hundo runs, so I don't recall anything major.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I guess another change, 2 changes actually over the previous record by M-Chan. So M-Chan actually split up the star coins differently in 2-4. I believe he actually got the first star coin there during the secret exit. But if you do that and you play really fast, then you actually would get fireworks during the normal exit. So I added in that first star coin in the normal exit to avoid getting fireworks. And then the other thing was I actually changed the level order here. And that basically just cut out some extra map movement. I guess nobody just thought of doing this level order, but it's like faster than what the previous record did by a little bit, so yeah. This part here is a bit random. I have to just hope that dude doesn't screw me over with the fireball, but if you're always like looking at him, you can kind of just wait it out if you know he's gonna throw a fireball.
Nice, Nabbit. Wait, what am I saying? You were Luigi.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like when we were trying to play Uno.
Yes.
So, how stressed were you at this moment, and how annoying were we that we low-key didn't care?
Yeah, so the entire run, I should explain. I was in a VC with Super, with Juice, ACD, Alien Shocks, CAD. I think it was just them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like kind of nervous, but it honestly helped to be in the voice chat because y'all were just talking about like playing Uno and stuff, so like it kind of took my mind off the run a little. Okay, another new strat. M-Chan does this level with Luigi, but it is
Oh,
faster
really?
with Nabbit. Yeah. So that's a cool new strat. You're gonna notice a lot of my new strats are just doing levels with Nabbit instead of Luigi.
It's because you didn't want to play the game.
Yes.
Obviously, is what that means. Since Nabbit is invincible, that must mean the game is obviously easier.
It's because I suck.
Don't worry, we know.
Alright, this next Nabbit chase is like the easiest one. It's funny because like if you fly far ahead of Nabbit, then you can just kind of like go backwards a little and you'll catch him. And this is like the best example.
What's the hardest Nabbit chase in your mind?
World 3. And you're gonna see how that went in a bit.
Oh yeah, I about said what happened, and I was like,
I won't
that's
spoil,
a spoiler.
but yeah. Okay. So, I mean, at this point, like, this second half has just been, like, insane. My best possible time
Really, this
going
whole
into...
run's just been insane, realistically.
The first part was, like, pretty good, but the second half, like, my best possible time was 2:10:52 going into the second half. And it's 2:10:57 now. Like...
To be fair, all that's happened was World 1.
And World 2.
Most of World 2.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, I can agree with that. It's a pretty consistent part of the run, but I was still, like, pretty nervous. By the way, if I had waited too long for that second star coin, I would have just hit the lava and died, which is something I've done before, so really glad that didn't happen. Ooh, do you want to talk about Morton?
Yeah, so Morton is a kind of annoying boss fight at first because he's gonna put a little pokey in front of him before every hit to, like, protect him from you. And you can kind of, like, get over him by, like, boosting up and, like, jumping over it. But it's actually pretty precise to come down, with, like, to hit Morton without him hitting you.
Yes. Like, way more than you would think. Yeah.
I've lost a fair share of all Castle's runs to this fight.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I'm actually a little bit to the left of Morton when I do my ground pound, but then during my ground pound, I hold down right, and Luigi will actually move down right during the ground pound to land on the left side of Morton. I figured out a backup, though. If you think you're going to be too slow, you can actually delay in the air a little bit and wait for him to swing his hammer and then land on him. Because if you hit him,
That's
like,
true.
when he swings his hammer, you just take damage.
That's true.
So I guess that's a good safe strat if you want to do that. Okay, so, like, second half's going amazingly right. Like, up until this point, I'm like, oh shit, like, this is an insane run. And then there's 4-1. And this is where you're gonna say, okay, I think this world record is beatable. I don't know if you saw this already, Super.
Yeah, no, I remember the mistakes that happened here.
Okay.
I remember some of the mistakes that happened here.
Okay.
I saw most of them that happened later on. I don't know that I saw a lot of ones at the beginning. This is when, like, Alien was, like, really yelling about Bingo. Or, Yono.
Yeah, so when I tried to get that star coin and I just missed it. And so I had to go back down.
No, I don't remember that at all.
I had to go back down and try to grab it again. But in the process, I ended up getting hit twice. So then I had to grab a mushroom. And then, like, do this, like, really sketchy backup for the rest of the level. And it was just super cringe. I'm actually really lucky that I didn't get hit. Like, I knew what I was doing. I've had to back this up with small Luigi before. But it was still, like, really slow. This entire mistake...
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
It lost 26 seconds. So that, I believe, is the biggest, like, single time save in the run. So it lost 22 there, but then I had to equip a PA coin. So that lost extra time. I guess more like 25 seconds, but yeah. So I guess I can explain why I equipped the P Acorn now, and then did this level as Nabbit. Like, that might seem kind of weird. If you beat the level as Nabbit, since Nabbit's supposed to be like an Easter egg, it just counts you as beating the level as Luigi. And if you beat the level as Luigi, well, you can only use your P Acorn for one level. So it just gets rid of the P Acorn. And the reason I want to get rid of the P Acorn is, one, because it has slightly different mechanics than normal Acorn, and it's just uncomfortable for me. But two, because if you beat a level with P Acorn, after you beat the level, it shows like this extra little animation that costs about 1.5 seconds that I don't want to watch. And that extra animation is you just changing from P Acorn to normal Acorn power-up state. But if you just use Nabbit to get rid of it, it never shows that. I guess the previous record also did 4-2 as Luigi, but it is a little faster and scarier as Nabbit, but faster. This is Super's favorite level, and he's probably cringing so hard. I'm sorry I didn't play this optimally. I don't know if you're still there. Okay. Well, I don't know if Super's here anymore. He might have got IRL'd, but yeah, not too much to say about Boom Boom here. So I guess there's one big thing I want to mention. There's kind of been a big emphasis for most of this run on like keeping my Acorn power up, right? Like, that's pretty important. That's about to change. After 4-3, there's basically no reason to worry about Acorn for the rest of the run. Acorn's pretty much useless after 4-3. You use it a little bit in World 9, but it's almost impossible to get to World 9 and not have the one backup you need to equip. So interesting thing, like hitting switches like that P switch, when you're in a flying state, it actually like refreshes your flying. Like, I could have done another fly even though I didn't land on the ground. I'm not really sure why that is. That's just like a weird property of P switches, or any switches actually. That's not really useful anywhere necessarily. I mean, it kind of is there because it gets you out of your flying state, and when you're in the flying state, you like descend very slowly. It gets you back to like a normal gliding. So I guess you technically use Acorn in this level, but you could enter this level as Small Luigi, and there's just an Acorn you can grab for free to use it. And then after that, you don't use Acorn anymore. And so yeah, even though I took damage, I can literally just get an Acorn for free right here. Welcome back, Super. If you're there. I guess not.
Finally, I'm sorry. My computer crashed.
Nah, you're good, dude. Don't worry about it.
Okay. We're back live now.
Okay, like, I'm just gonna keep highlighting differences from M-Chan's run. This is the next big one. The order of levels I do in World 4 is different. So M-Chan actually saves World 5 until after 4 Castle. So basically at the end of World 4. I do it now. The main reason that's faster is because I can use the penguin suit on the Nabbit chase. You can also use it in the level 4-secret. I actually didn't go for that in this run, but it does save a few seconds, but it is very risky. You can actually use it in 4 Castle as well, but that's even riskier.
Can I ask why it's risky? I'm gonna pull the classic,
yes.
I've never tried it, but DCA makes it look really easy.
DCA makes it look easy because they're DCA, but it's not even that hard. It's just if you happen to mess it up and get hit, there's not a good backup. Like, you will lose, like, upwards of 30 seconds. And I was on, like, a good enough pace that I didn't feel like I needed that, like, 3-second time save.
That's fair.
In risk losing 30
Does
seconds.
your gold have it though?
It has like a very scuffed version of it. I think I went for it once. So yeah, this route does actually have a little bit of extra map movement compared to the route M-Chan did. But it's made up for with the, you know, the faster strats you can do in the levels. Not too much to say about Four Ghost House. I guess this is one of the few global cycles of the run, so if you mess up here, like, these platforms are just going to be in different places. It's not too hard, though. I do have a setup at the beginning of the level where you have to wait for the ground below you to disappear. So I do a ground pound so that as soon as the ground disappears, I'm in a ground pound state, so I just immediately start falling down at like a very fast speed. So you're gonna see it again right here. So I do a jump, and then big jump, and then ground pound. And that's faster than just like waiting. Also, I guess fun fact about this level, it's the only level you get the star coins in reverse order. Okay, so right there I do a crouch jump to get the last coin, because if I just did a regular jump, it would have been a triple jump. And like I said earlier, I don't want to get a triple jump into the flagpole, because I won't be able to hold left to get the faster flagpole animation. Yeah, and so then, yeah, I think, like, this is the kind of the point in the run where I was like, all right, I might have, like, lost some time in 4-1, but this is still a really good run. Like, there's no reason to, like, go for, like, super ballsy strats. So this is, I think, one of my first big instances of playing it safe.
Yo, what's up, Nabbit?
So yeah, I use Nabbit, but you get to see a cool strat here. I actually use the knockback of this icicle to boost myself up to that platform to get the star coin. I think that's a really cool strat.
That was not done by M-Chan, I don't think, right?
It actually was. That's where I learned it from.
Yeah, holy crap. DCA gets way better IGT than that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get like an 82 with Penguin. Okay, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. If you want to talk about Four Castle, there's not really anything different from all castles in that level.
Yeah, no, I can easily talk about Four Castle.
Okay, I'll BRB.
I'll open your chat in case people like ask or ask and stuff. I don't actually have your chat open. Dude, that's actually cool. I didn't notice the Penguin Luigi belly slides on the world map. That's kind of fun. Okay, anyways. In this level, there's 3 star coins we're gonna get. Just like any other level. I'm doing a great job about this. First one's down here. You kind of just walk off and wall kick. It's kind of cool here. To get in there, we just do a crouch jump. Or just a crouched slide. That makes that, like, faster to get into. We're gonna do, like, a little bit of a stall kind of. To get inside that area with the brick block. Because the one's in there. Then, in here, we're gonna be to Wendy. Wendy's nut mouth. You know what I'm saying? This Wendy boss fight is kind of annoying because any other Koopaling boss fight, you like generally know where the Koopalings pop out of their shells. Wendy, you generally know the area that she pops up, but the exact location she pops up deviates quite significantly. And so it's just kind of annoying to be able to, like, figure out where Wendy is. Definitely probably the worst boss fight in the game. Except for maybe, you can maybe make an argument for 5 airship, but Eva does a good job here.
Oh, I'm back.
Sick.
Alright. So then, yeah, this is where M-Chan would have gone to 4-5. Or actually, no, he would have also done... He does actually also does the Nabbit chase right after the castle and then 4-5. But like I said earlier, because I've already done 4-5, I can do the Nabbit chase with the penguin suit, which is like way faster.
Why would he do the Nabbit chase and then go back for 4?
It's just like the
I
way
guess
the
because the
levels
movement's
are.
not open yet.
Yeah, it's the way like the world map is like opened up. Like that bottom right part of that circle isn't open. If that makes sense. So you pass by the Nabbit chase first. Yeah. This one isn't too bad. This is another instance where you kind of just stun him and then go back. The timing can be a little tricky to unmorph with the penguin suit, though. I've definitely messed that one up before. Alright, so it's like we're successfully out of World 4 and we're into World 3. World 3, for me, is the hardest world of the whole run.
Really?
So, yeah, if with optimal strats, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's important to mention because this was like kind of the run of my life, you know? So I'm like, okay, what do I really want to go for here? Like, for example...
This is when you were really getting stressed, and this is
yeah,
when we were really having fun playing Uno.
I wasn't talking about my run at all, though, in the voice chat.
No, but, well, you kind of were. We were just straight up ignoring you, so you
yeah.
just stopped talking about your run, because we cared, but we didn't care.
4-1, or 3-1, excuse me, is actually faster with Penguin Suit. But I opted to do it with Nabbit. Because the time difference is only 3 seconds at the most, maybe less. It's mostly because of this swimming section right here. Penguin Suit has a much faster swimming speed.
I wonder where the hidden Luigi is.
I wonder if we'll see him somewhere.
I don't know.
But yeah, the penguin saves a lot of time in underwater sections. And so, yeah, like, I would have saved some time there if I used penguin. But there was, you know, the possibility of getting hit somewhere in the level. And I really didn't want to take that chance on this kind of a run for, like, such a small time save. Especially when I had an entire minute.
Video is a baby.
I had an entire minute of leeway to get world record still. I really didn't want to risk it. And that's mostly because 3-2 is one of the levels that benefits the most from the penguin. Actually, I think it is the one that benefits the most, like, in the whole run. So I dropped a swim there, and I was so close to getting hit. I was, like, terrified. And FYI, these are timed swims, so I'm not spamming. And then this star coin is arguably like the worst one of the whole run. That actually went really well. Yeah, it is like Mario 64 timed swims. And the reason it's so bad is because, like, the way that whole section works is if you freeze the urchins for a bit, if they collide with one of the orange fish, then they will just break. But if they don't, then they just unfreeze. And, like, if your ice balls, like, aren't perfectly, like, timed, like, the same way every time, you're gonna get, like, drastically different results, like, every time you do that section. So it's just tough. I messed up running off that platform for that star coin, which, by the way, is harder than it looks. This level was just a bit of a mess. I was getting nervous, if you couldn't tell. Oh yeah, Kat is the one who taught me to do timed swims instead of spamming. Definitely works way better. Not too much to say about this Boom Boom. He's literally the same fight from World 4. They didn't even change it. Do you know, Super, if the water, like, rises if you take too long to hit him or some shit?
Nope.
It doesn't?
Has no impact. It literally has no impact on the fight.
So it's just, like, aesthetic?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That is, like, the worst... Wow, that's just, like, the worst boss fight design ever. Okay, so this level is faster as Penguin by, like, 3 or 4 seconds, but, of course, I was just nervous. I was like, I don't want to lose Penguin. So I went for it as Nabbit, and to be honest, I probably should have done this as Penguin, because the very next level has a Penguin suit at the very beginning that I could have just grabbed if I had lost it. But I don't know, man, I was just nervous. So I just took the easy route.
Things for next run. Things for next run.
Yep, room for improvement. It's kind of funny, like, I was talking with DCA a bit before this run, and they had said, like, I think the key to, like, getting world record is, like, getting consistent with, like, the Penguin strats in World 3. And it was like, I don't know, I kind of disagree, because M-Chan doesn't do a lot of the Penguin strats. M-Chan actually does a lot more Nabbit. So I think the key is honestly just, like, playing consistently rather than trying to go all out. And sure enough, like, I was actually right. But this level benefits heavily from Penguin. I'm able to freeze an enemy and throw it into that star coin. It's one of my favorite strats of the run.
Well, the problem with, like, 100% is, like, it really is a category of endurance.
Yes.
Like, you're not gonna play well for 2 hours. I don't care
No,
how
you're
good you
not.
are. Like, I'm sorry. You're just not.
Yeah, like, even though this run was, like, really good by my standards, like, obviously, like, stuff like 4-1 is still gonna happen unless you, like, really grind the run out for, like, months. Also, the reason we do the levels here in the order we do has to do with those geysers that I have to cross. It's just, like, a timing thing. So, if anyone is wondering. This level's also faster with Penguin, but this is probably... It's not only the hardest one to do with Penguin, but it's also the one that benefits the least. So it's just like, I don't ever see myself going for that unless I'm trying to save, like, everything that I can, or unless I can find a way to make it more consistent. Because, like, the way it works is, like, for most of the level, you have to swim at the very bottom of the screen, like, basically right above the death plane. Because if you swim any higher, you'll get hit by fish, but if you swim any lower, you just hit the death plane and die. And if you drop a swim, you also get hit by fish. So it's just very scary. Yeah, I just didn't really worry about that stuff, Cad. I'm not very good at Penguin movement. I need to work on it.
Honestly, great Penguin movement doesn't super matter.
Yeah, for Hundo.
If you're on your belly, let the man do his thing. Like, chill with the Penguin. As long as the man's got the Penguin, we're gonna move on.
Okay, so there's actually been a new time save found in this level. You might have seen me, like, free the Yoshi egg at the beginning. And Nabbit can't actually ride on Yoshi, but Luigi can, of course. So the new time save, actually, you would get Yoshi, and then use him to get the 3rd star coin, and then, like, jump off of him to save yourself, basically. Since I can't do that as Nabbit, I have to wait a bit longer for, like, an extra leaf to appear that I can land on. So it is a couple seconds slower to do this level as Nabbit. However, again, I didn't want to risk losing my Penguin suit. And also that Yoshi strategy is just, like, a lot harder than what I did here. And again, I'm on a very good run, so is it really worth it for, like, a 3-second time save? Probably not. But again, like, a lot of room for improvement still. So, you know, I might see that in some future runs. Oh, I can
They're
skip some.
climbing the beanstalk of female dogs.
Stop.
Sorry, it was better than what I would have done.
I know. So if I had lost my penguin anywhere, I guess I could have gotten it back in this level with the red coins here. However, it is like a really hard backup strat in my opinion. So I really don't want to have to go for this if I can avoid it. So yeah, luckily I didn't have to do that. I was able to do this as Nabbit, as usual. I like forgot. I was supposed to do a twirl there right before the star coin to grab it, and I just like didn't, so I almost missed the star coin. And if I had just like gone for the flagpole, I would have had to redo the whole level, and I would have probably killed my run. So yeah. And here's where this happened.
Yeah, that was this.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it now.
So like I said,
I'll let you talk about this.
hardest Nabbit chase of the run. Basically, when you're in like the sliding penguin state, you can't catch him. So I try to unmorph at exactly the right time where I grab him, but I did it just slightly too late. So I got a stun on him and then just kept going forward, and then I ran right into that spiked ball. So that's really bad. So Penguin saves about 26 seconds for the rest of the run, so I completely missed out on that 26 seconds that I could have saved from Penguin. And truthfully, it would have cost me roughly 20 seconds to exit that Nabbit chase and just retry it, and I would have kept my power up that way if I had just nailed it. So it probably would have been faster, but I had kind of thought about that before. Like, that was something I had considered that could have happened. And I know that like the time difference is only about 6-ish seconds, right? And it's like, okay, the time, like I could save 6 seconds by doing that, but what if I failed again? Then my run's dead. So like, I don't know. I had thought about that before, and I was like, okay, I think the most logical thing to do if that happens is just to take the time loss.
What? You just ramming your head in there, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, you have to wait there for that guy to clear the urchin. You can
Even as Nabbit, you
So-
can't just like body boots through there.
You can, but the urchins give you that knockback effect, and so it takes forever to get through him. It's like way slower. Yeah, so I thought about this before, and I was like, okay, if this does happen like on a really good run, I'm just gonna take the time loss. And that's what I did. So like normally
So does that mean that your new route is now technically slower?
For this run, yes. Which is funny. Like, this is like the first world record with the quote-unquote new route, but it doesn't actually benefit from the new route at all. So I guess you can't say that the new route got me world record. I don't know. So like, yeah, normally I would use Penguin for this level because it would save a lot of time in this underwater section. Didn't get to do that. This whole level is actually kind of scary as Penguin. Like, you see when those torpedoes collide and they, like, create an explosion? Like, the smoke from that explosion also has a hitbox and also causes you to take damage. So you actually have to wait for the smoke to, like, go away. Like, you can't just, like, run into the smoke. You will take damage, and I have, like, lost Penguin because of that before. So yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, it's like, I mentally add like 26 seconds to my BPT, my best possible time, and I'm like, okay, this is still doable. Like, I can still get this record, even though I lost my power-up. I just gotta, like, stay calm. And in a weird way, I have to wonder if that actually, like, helped me clutch it. Because the rest of this run is significantly easier if I'm not worrying about Penguin strategies, to be honest. Like, the Penguin strategies are kind of hard. But the Nabbit backups are, like, really easy. I'm gonna just skip this cutscene. Okay. Oh, actually, I want to talk about this real quick. So you're gonna see right here that one, that level is like a circle I can actually enter, and two, I can enter it right away. If you've played through this game like in order, you would see that the way you enter that level is like way different. Like it looks more like the way that 7 Airship looked in this run, where it's not a space that you land on. It's just kind of like you walk into the area, and then there's this long cutscene of like an airship like coming down, and Bowser Jr. is like on the airship or something. Well, the thing is, if you do 7 Airship before 5 Airship, that cutscene just doesn't play for 5 Airship. So that's a big part of the reason why we do World 7 early, and then come back and do this later. And in addition to that, just an added advantage is that the level actually becomes a circle that you can like press A to, you know, enter the level on. And so because of that, you can play the level as Nabbit. Otherwise, you would actually have to take a death if you wanted to play the level as Nabbit, which is pretty dumb.
And there's like no... The only benefit you do Nabbit here for is the invincibility.
Yeah,
like,
Nabbit doesn't save
you
time
would
in
be
this level.
the exact same amount of time.
Yeah, Nabbit doesn't save any time. He's just simply safer.
It's just simply because you're a child.
Yes.
And need easy mode.
If you really wanted to flex, you could just like go for Luigi here while on pace. I don't know why you would do that though. Damage in an auto-scroller would be embarrassing. Yes, I agree. Well, I've actually died in this level before, so I guess that's
in a
even
run?
Yeah, I guess that's even more embarrassing. I actually lost a PB pace to that. I just like fell in a I just like fell in a pit or something. It was really funny. Obviously, this boss is kind of boring, but the one thing you're gonna see me do right here, before the last torpedo makes contact, I'm gonna start swimming to the left to try to land in a specific spot on the ground as the fight ends, because very similar to like the cutscene in 7 Airship at the end, this cutscene doesn't start until Nabbit's standing in a specific spot. So you see him run a little bit right there. He only ran for like half a step. Like if I had landed like on the right side of the screen, he would have ran like all the way over to there to where he was standing before this cutscene started. So that's just like something to keep in mind.
And I think it's time now.
Sure, World 9?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. Indeed it is.
Oh, while we're heading over to World 9, what would you say is the hardest boss in this game? Or most annoying boss you don't like in this game?
I think obviously Kamek.
Let me rephrase that.
Kamek would be the obvious choice, I think. Because it's random. I mean, I don't know. What is yours?
I said, when we were in Forecastle, I said Forecastle is potentially the one. I obviously didn't think about Kamek, though.
Yeah, well, if we had to choose a Koopaling, Wendy is up there, but I would still say Iggy because it's also random.
Oh, true.
But then I would say Wendy after that.
I also said just boss in general. I also said, I wonder if 5 Airship could contest for that. Because whenever I play that casually, I blow at that fight.
I think if you practiced it, it's not that bad. But I don't know, I've messed it up before. Not too much to say about 5-1 or 9-1, made to reveal by Nabbit. You can actually do the World 9 levels in any order you want. That's more useful for like a Luigi only run, I guess. Like if you wanted to like, you get to World 9 and you have the Penguin, you don't want to like get hit in 9-1, you could like save 9-1 for later and just like book it to 9-3 to get your time save. Because the main levels Penguin saves time in is 9-2 and 9-3. It saves about 4.5.
Oh, did you do the belly slides in 9-2 then as well?
In 9-2. Yeah, that
9-2 and
no,
9-3.
yeah, I would normally go for Penguin 9-2. It saves enough for me to like go for it. So unfortunately I didn't get to show that off this run. I'm hoping like the next world record we'll get to show off some of the penguin strats in World 9. I think they're really cool. But I'm just kind of doing this the casual way. The non-casual speedrun way of doing this level is awesome. Like, you, like, skip some of the P-switches, and, like, it's really cool.
I'm sure you can technically skip almost all these P-switches.
I think you can, but... Well, no, I think...
Like,
there's one...
Like, I think you need to activate, like, the first one, and then after that, I think the blocks will fall on all of them.
Well, there's the one where that like, there's a big gap, and there's, like, a spring in the middle of the gap.
No, the block should fall on that one.
Oh, it does? Oh, well, that's what I meant. Like, that one always gets activated, though. But just look how I do at the level as Penguin, and I think you'll see what I mean.
Wow, you didn't get the star. Wow.
Yeah, so if I had Penguin here, I would have grabbed a hidden star in the first room, so I could go through those fish. But since I'm Nabbit,
got destroyed.
Yeah, since I'm Nabbit,
oh my god, that would have given me a heart attack if I was on that kind of pace. And
yeah, since I'm Nabbit, I didn't need a star. However, I can still get eaten by the fish, the big purple fish. So I was not safe from that, and I got really scared there, yeah, at the beginning. Like I was gonna get eaten. Alright, well, yeah, obviously, like, that was kind of underwhelming. 9-3 is a lot cooler with Penguin. But... harder. So you'll see, I lost a 16 whole seconds right there. So, yeah. But, you know, the best possible time, still well below world record, so I just needed to, like, clutch it out at this point. Okay, so right here, the one, like, optimization, I guess, I could do, I equipped my normal acorn instead of a P acorn, and that might, like, you might think, like, why didn't you just equip the P acorn? Like, wouldn't that make this easier? But like I said earlier, if I hit the flagpole with the P acorn, I get that extra animation at the end of the level where, like, the P acorn changes to a normal acorn, and it wastes, like, a second and a half, so I don't want to have to watch that.
You've timed that? It does?
Yeah, it's like a second and a half.
Does it do it during the clock ticking down?
Yes. Oh, no, it doesn't.
I
no,
thought it did it during the course clear, and if it doesn't during the course clear, I feel like it shouldn't lose time.
It does it after the course clear fanfare plays. So if you have that play at a flagpole, it loses like a second and a half.
Oh, so
however,
it plays the fanfare, then deactivates, then the timer goes.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. However, if you have that happen in like a castle or tower or airship or like one of those levels that plays like the other course clear fanfare, you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, then it doesn't lose time. It does that little animation while the music is playing. So it doesn't lose time in those levels, which is really weird. And it also, of course, like I mentioned earlier, you can also just like play as Nabbit to essentially get rid of, or essentially change your P acorn into an acorn without watching the animation.
This level's cool for Hundo.
This level's awesome. I love this level. So if you're really fast here, you can avoid some of those bricks. Skip a few jumps. Also, the background in this level is my splits background. Also, shoutouts to Bowser Jr. in the back.
I wonder whether Luigi was in this level.
I wonder. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Me neither, man. I don't know.
Maybe the real Luigi was the friends we made along the way.
Okay, dude, I'm so glad we're done in 4 levels.
Oh
wow,
God.
This level's... You know, this is the hardest level in the game.
Yeah, you know, everyone says, like, this is the hardest level of the game. And I really don't understand, because, in my opinion, this is pretty easy. I really don't understand why anyone would think this is hard.
Look, Nabbit's just like outspacing the fire.
Yeah.
Like he's a legend.
He is indeed. Oh, this is a funny mistake.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Rip the 69.
Yep.
All my homies hate 69.
So, like, at this point, to be honest, like, since I wasn't going for any penguin stats in World 9, the only level I was really worried about was 9-7. So I was like, if I can just get past this, like, I know I can do it, you know? This level's really scary, because these Lakitu dudes can be super weird. They can, like, juke you out if you don't try to jump on them at, like, the right time. Like, it's very awkward. And then right there, you're actually supposed to grab a cloud from that dude, but you can actually just barely make this one last long enough to just skip it, and it's faster, so that saves some time over M-Chain, I guess. I'm not sure if that's
you get a
really...
67 in this level?
I got a 56, but that was as Luigi, because Luigi, you can grab the cloud in a faster way with the Fire Flower, but I don't have Fire Flower, so yeah. It would be slower because if you wanted to do that strat, you would have to do 9-8 first and then come back to 9-7 and grab a Fire Flower. It's just not worth it. Okay, so I got past 9-7 and I was like, okay, I got this at that point. Like, it wasn't over, but I was like, I fucking got this. Oh, I was trying to keep the language clean. Oops.
Got him. We've each had our one curse word for the stream.
Yeah, so, okay, those big spiky balls there, as Nabbit, they give you the knockback, so that's why I use Luigi for this level. Like, if Nabbit just went through those, then yeah, I would use Nabbit, but I have to use Luigi because he can just damage boost right through him. As Nabbit, this level would not work as cleanly as it does as Luigi.
And this is when everyone in the VC or that's the clarification. This is when I started popping off and saying that Uvid's got record, and he got really mad at me.
I was like, no, I didn't yet, because I've seen people choke the final level. And so, FYI, the final level's an auto-scroller. So it's like, yeah, it's pretty hard to mess it up. But, like, everyone in VC was just memeing. They're like, Uvid, what if you ground pounded right now? Because, like, this level is, like, a downwards auto-scroller, so if you ground pound, you could just, like, die. I guess the one interesting thing about 9-9 that they never explain to you anywhere in the game. If you're moving like left or right while you're gliding, you descend way slower. Versus if you just go neutral on your D-pad, you descend like way slower. And so that's how you can like stall enough to like stay at the top of the screen. Otherwise this level would be so hard. And so, like, I can drop all the way to the bottom and then just start gliding, like, left and right, and I'll gain so much height. And so, yeah, all I had to do, really, at this point was grab the last star coin, and then there's a pipe at the end, and if you drop too early to get into the pipe, you just hit the death plane and die. So I played it super safe at the end here. Like, I'm basically waiting for the in-game timer to hit 40, and then I drop, but I waited, like, extra long just to make sure I got it in there. Do my final pipe kick of the run. And that was that. New world record. Also, you can play as your me in the final level.
Not
I believe...
and you have to.
No, you don't. You can play as Luigi as well, but it saves, like, I believe it saves 1 frame to use your me on the flagpole.
Wait, how do you choose to play as your me?
Hold ZL to enter the level. So yeah,
it's
new world
just
record.
you play as the me instead of Nabbit. So you just can't play as Nabbit in that level.
It doesn't let you play as Nabbit. Oh, it does on the Switch version though, but not in this version. I've never seen anyone beat the level as Nabbit though.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! When we're done, that's what I'm doing on stream.
I want to see you do it.
You tempted me.
Anyhow, yeah, that's the run. New world record 2:12:18. No deaths. No fireworks.
Dude, look at all the super 64 guy pop-offs.
Yeah, all the emotes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this run on YouTube. You know, I think it's a good commentated run. But yeah, thanks Super for commentating with me.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I thought it was
Thanks
fun.
for having me. I
Of
appreciate it.
course, it was fun. Obviously, there's still room for improvement. There was the 4-1 mistake. There was losing Penguin at the end, and just like in general, I think that the first half of the run could be faster. But yeah,
Well, the
you know,
first half of the run was pretty decent for a hundo run.
for a
Like,
Hundo
that's
run,
what
I
think
agree.
That's what the first half of the hundo run was what allowed you to make the mistakes you made in the second half.
Yes, I agree.
And still record.
I completely agree. What was I gonna say? Yeah, and then there I just saved and exited to basically prove that my file had 5 stars, just because. So yeah, that is the run. I hope everyone enjoyed watching that back, because you know, I normally
know I did.
I normally like stream with like, you know, Mike and Cam and stuff.
That was also like a very impromptu stream that you weren't expecting to do, and then you just so happened to get record.
Right.
It's like when I got All Castle's record offline, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Well, I didn't even realize like the bottom of the screen was cut off the whole time. Oh well.
Well, I am now gonna switch on my stream to trying to beat 99 as Nabbit.
Alright, you have fun at that. I'm trying to decide. I guess I could do some
Oh my god, did the desktop audio
runs.
not play on my stream? Oh my god, well, good thing no one was watching me.
That's actually really funny. I hope your audio was on my stream. I think it was.
I think it was. I have things that mess it up on my end, but...
Alright, well...
I'm gonna try and beat 99 as Nabbit now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that happen. I'm trying to decide, should I do some attempts? Or, I don't know, maybe I should just take the night off. I mean...
You should take the night off. You deserve it.
Well, I kind of took most of the day off. No, that's not true. I practiced today. But... I don't know. So I've actually started learning 100% Luigi only now, which is basically the harder version of this category. No Nabbit allowed. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Still in the process of like figuring out strats for that, but I have a good bit of it learned already. So that's gonna be fun. I'm excited. So then, like, when anyone in the YouTube comments is like, "Aw, cheap run, uses Nabbit," I'll be like, "Yo, check this out."
That was a good first attempt, though.
Wait, what?
I almost did it first try.
Yo,
I
wait,
got to the second star. I got to the second star coin.
Dang. I gotta see. Are you like stalling with ground pounds?
Yes.
That's. Oh god, that sounds awful.
It is awful.
Oh my god. Oh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I guess. It's like part of me wants to do attempts for a bit. Not gonna lie. Well, it's already 12:28.
I would just take the night off.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the night off, but I'll stream tomorrow. So yeah, that was a super fun stream. I'm glad I got to do that. So let's raid Super real quick. So yeah, bye everyone.
Easy.
You got it?
Yeah.
Bro, I missed it. No, I want to see it.
I'm done.
Wait. Oh.
134 because I did a bad job going the pipe, but I did it. Yeah.
Holy shit! I have to see this.
Second try. The only reason I missed it the first try was because my thumb got tired, so I wasn't paying attention, and then I just like wasn't ground pound canceling. Like I missed the first input, and then I fell too far down the screen to like recover.